Let me tell you, relationships are hard work, even under the best of circumstances. But when you throw a chronic illness like fibromyalgia into the mix, it can really put a strain on things. Living with fibromyalgia can be incredibly challenging, not just for the person affected, but also for their partner. The constant pain, fatigue, and other symptoms can take a toll on every aspect of life, from physical intimacy to emotional well-being to finances, and often partners are left feeling frustrated, helpless, and unsure of how to best support their loved ones. But let me tell you something, you are not alone. Today we're breaking down the specific frustrations and coping strategies for couples dealing with this chronic condition. We're going to talk about the tough stuff, the stuff nobody wants to talk about, but we're also going to talk about solutions, about how to communicate better, how to support each other, and how to keep your relationship strong in the face of adversity. Now, the first thing we need to address is the elephant in the room, the thing that impacts every single aspect of life when you're dealing with fibromyalgia, the physical symptoms. And I'm not just talking about pain, although that's a big part of it. We're talking about debilitating fatigue, stiffness, brain fog, you name it. This is real, folks. It's not in their heads.
Imagine waking up every day feeling like you got hit by a truck. Your muscles ache, your joints scream, and simply getting out of bed feels like running a marathon. Now try explaining that to someone who's never experienced it. It's tough, right?
And here's the kicker, the symptoms can be unpredictable. One day you might be able to manage a trip to the grocery store, the next day even taking a shower wipes you out for the rest of the day. That unpredictability, that lack of control can be incredibly frustrating, both for the person living with fibromyalgia and their partner. When one partner is dealing with chronic pain and fatigue, it inevitably impacts the division of household responsibilities. Maybe one person used to handle all the cooking and cleaning, but now they can barely muster the energy to unload the dishwasher. This shift in responsibilities can lead to resentment, anger, and feelings of being overwhelmed.
And let's be honest, folks, this isn't just about dishes and laundry. It's about intimacy, about shared experiences, about feeling like an equal partner in life. When one person is constantly limited by their physical condition, it can create a real imbalance in the relationship.
But here's the thing, understanding is key. If you're the partner living without fibromyalgia, you've got to educate yourself about this condition. Read up on it, talk to your partner, listen to their experiences, don't minimize their pain or try to offer unsolicited advice.
And if you're the one living with fibromyalgia, I hear you. It's frustrating, it's unfair, and it's okay to feel angry sometimes. But you got to communicate with your partner.
Now, we've talked about the physical challenges of fibromyalgia. But let's be clear, this isn't just a physical condition. It impacts every aspect of a person's life, especially their emotional well-being. And let me tell you, understanding these emotional challenges is crucial for both partners in navigating this journey.
One of the most common experiences for people with fibromyalgia is feeling misunderstood. Imagine trying to explain the invisible pain that courses through your body, the exhaustion that never seems to lift, to someone who looks at you and sees a perfectly healthy individual. It's frustrating, it's isolating, and it can lead to feelings of resentment and anger.
And then there are the mood swings. Fibromyalgia can wreak havoc on your hormones, leaving you feeling like you're on an emotional roller coaster. One minute you're fine, the next minute you're crying for no reason. These mood swings can be incredibly difficult for partners to deal with, leaving them feeling confused, hurt, and walking on eggshells. And let's not forget about depression. Living with chronic pain and fatigue can take a toll on anyone's mental health. The constant struggle, the limitations, the feeling of being robbed of your life, it can lead to feelings of hopelessness, despair, and even thoughts of suicide.
Now, on top of all that, many people with fibromyalgia struggle with feelings of guilt and shame. They may feel guilty that they can't be the partner they once were, that they can't participate in activities they used to enjoy, that they're placing a burden on their loved ones. This guilt and shame can be incredibly damaging to a relationship. It can lead to withdrawal, communication breakdowns, and a vicious cycle of negativity.
So what's the solution? Communication, folks, and lots of it. If you're the partner living with fibromyalgia, be open and honest about how you're feeling. Don't bottle it up or try to protect your partner from your emotions.
All right, let's talk about a topic that often gets swept under the rug when discussing chronic illness intimacy. And I'm not just talking about sex, although that's a big part of it. I'm talking about all forms of intimacy, physical touch, emotional connection, sexual desire. When one partner is living with fibromyalgia, all of these areas can be impacted, and it's crucial to address them head-on.
First and foremost, let's acknowledge the elephant in the room: pain. For many people with fibromyalgia, even the lightest touch can be excruciating. And when your body feels like a battlefield, the last thing on your mind is intimacy. This can be incredibly difficult for partners to understand, especially if they're used to a certain level of physical affection.
Then there's the fatigue. When you're utterly exhausted from battling pain and fatigue all day, mustering the energy for intimacy, both physical and emotional, can feel like an impossible task. You might crave connection, but your body simply won't cooperate.
And let's not forget about the impact of medications. Many fibromyalgia medications can have side effects like decreased libido, vaginal dryness, and difficulty achieving orgasm. These side effects can further complicate intimacy and create a sense of disconnect between partners.
Now, the emotional toll of fibromyalgia can also impact intimacy. When you're struggling with anxiety, depression, and body image issues, it's hard to feel sexy and desirable. You might withdraw from your partner both physically and emotionally, leading to a breakdown in communication and connection.
So, how do you navigate intimacy in the face of fibromyalgia? Well, the first step is open and honest communication. Talk to your partner about your needs, your limitations, and your fears. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable and express how fibromyalgia is impacting your desire and ability to connect intimately.
Remember, intimacy isn't a one-size-fits-all experience.
Now, let's talk about a topic that can be a major source of stress and conflict in any relationship. But it can be particularly challenging when one partner is living with fibromyalgia: finances. Fibromyalgia can be a costly condition, folks. We're talking doctor's appointments, medications, therapy sessions, alternative treatments. Well, it all adds up.
And when you factor in the potential for reduced work hours, or even job loss due to the unpredictable nature of the illness, it's easy to see how finances can become a major source of tension in a relationship. Let's be honest. Money is already a common source of conflict for couples, even without the added stress of a chronic illness.
But when one partner feels like they're carrying the financial burden while the other is unable to contribute as much as they're used to, it can breed resentment, anger, and feelings of inequality. And it's not just the actual expenses that can cause problems. The stress of managing finances, especially when you're dealing with a fluctuating income and mounting medical bills, can take a toll on both partners' mental and emotional health.
Now, if you're the partner living with fibromyalgia and you're unable to work or your income has been reduced, it's natural to feel guilty, ashamed, or even like a burden. You might be used to being the provider, the one who contributes equally, and now you're forced to rely on your partner more than you ever imagined.
On the other hand, if you're the partner without fibromyalgia and you're now shouldering the majority of the financial responsibility, you might feel overwhelmed, resentful, or even angry at the situation. You might start to question your partner's efforts to manage their condition or feel like you're being taken advantage of.
So how do you navigate this financial minefield without blowing up your relationship? Communication, folks, communication.
We've covered a lot of ground today, folks. We've talked about the very real challenges that come with navigating a relationship when one partner is living with fibromyalgia, the physical limitations, the emotional roller coaster, the impact on intimacy, the financial strain, the social adjustments. It's a lot to handle, there's no doubt about it.
But here's the thing I want you to remember. While fibromyalgia presents unique challenges, it also offers opportunities for growth and deeper connection. By understanding the complexities of this condition, communicating openly and honestly, and supporting each other through the ups and downs, you can navigate these difficulties and build a stronger, more resilient relationship.
Remember, you're in this together. While fibromyalgia presents unique challenges, it also offers opportunities for growth and deeper connection. By understanding, communicating, and supporting each other, couples can navigate these difficulties and build a stronger, more resilient relationship.